with a federal budget that will disproportionately impact these communities. And so we are calling here today for our partners in New York City and New York City Council to ensure that we protect and uplift these communities in our city budget. Thank you everyone for being out here today and for standing with us. To get us started, it is my pleasure to introduce our President and CEO, Wayne Ho.
Thank you everyone for joining us today in the rain. I am Wayne Ho, the President and CEO of the Chinese American Planning Council. We are the nation's largest Asian American social services nonprofit. Every year, we serve 60,000 New Yorkers of all ages, all backgrounds, all ethnicities, and we have constituents like the City Council living in all 51 council districts. During these times where we have a federal government that is proposing to cut the social safety net, cut critical funding to services, attack immigrant communities, attack women, attack LGBTQ populations, it is time for us to come together and say no more, that this needs to stop right now. And while we are pushing back against the federal government, while we are pushing back against state cuts, what we are calling at this time is for the mayoral administration and the city council to stand together, not only with CPC, but also with the entire human services sector, to say that we cannot have any budget cuts. Any cuts to the budget will disproportionately affect the Asian American community, communities of color, and immigrant communities, and low-income New Yorkers. It's during these times that you do not take away funding. It's during this time that you invest in funding. You do not balance the budget on the backs of Asian Americans. You do not balance the budget on the backs of immigrant New Yorkers. You do not balance the budget on the backs of low-income individuals. What you do is invest in these services, services that CPC does that you'll hear today. For 53 years, we have been promoting social and economic empowerment of Asian American, immigrant, and low-income New Yorkers. And we do that through critical support of the government and our allies in the City Council. So it's during these times that we are holding our first ever City Advocacy Day, because it is that critical for us to say that we will push back against any budget cuts, that we will work with our City Council allies to make sure that the mayoral administration and the City Council not only invest in resources, but increase resources for the city's fastest growing racial group. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today. During today, we are meeting with over 30 council members. We are promoting our budget priorities, and we look forward to continuing to work with the mayoral administration and the City Council, especially our critical allies and champions, to invest in not only the critical services that CPC provides, but that the entire human services provides. Thank you.
As Wayne said, we are calling today for critical investments in our communities. CPC has been providing these services for 53 years, and we are standing here today to make sure that we increase funding for these services, not decrease them. We are standing here today calling for investments in our seniors. We are standing here today calling for investments in adult literacy. We're standing here today calling for investments in early childhood education and the salaries of those workers that serve our children. We're standing here today calling for funding for our initiatives that ensure that people have mental health access, that people have access to digital literacy, that people have access to healthy aging services. We are standing here today calling for fair fares to ensure that everybody has transportation access. My next speaker is one of our biggest champions who has stood beside CPC for years, fighting tirelessly on behalf of not only CPC, but of all of our Asian American and immigrant communities. It is my pleasure to introduce Councilmember Peter Koo.
Hi everyone, I'm Councilmember Peter Koo. I am from Queens, Flushing, and my district has the highest concentrations of Asian Americans on the East Coast. So this meeting is about what? It's about inclusiveness. Because America is a country of different religious groups, different ethnic groups, and we all come here to make America strong. This country is great because they take talent, we take talent from everyone, from every group. But when you're an immigrant, you need training for them to become talent. You need education. You need to educate them to become scholars or scientists. So you need to educate them in English in order to find a meaningful job. I want to thank CPC for so many years, 35 years, right? 33, wow, older than most of you. Right? So for 53 years, CPC has developed a lot of good programs, either like adult literacy, English language, other people, home care, kindergarten. There must be at least 20 different programs. But all these programs will enrich and empower everyone of you socially and economically. So, as a council member, I will continue to fight for all of you. We have 15% of the population in your city. So proportionally, we should have 15% of the budget. Yes. So I hope I promise you, I will continue to fight for our fair share. We're not asking for more. We're only asking for fair share. So 15% is our goal. So I want every one of you work hard and call your council members, call the mayor's office, give them a hard time. But just give them a hard time. Say anything else in the country, anything they do, right? There are consequences, right? Consequences of like November election, right? September primary, right? All those things. So I want to thank Wayne Ho, the president and CEO, and all the lovely and wonderful workers and hardworking members of CPC for helping our community, helping Asian Americans keep us together. Asian Americans, not just Chinese or Koreans, include like South Asians, Philippines. Our population alone is like 15% of this, and in the country, in the whole world, is maybe more than half of the population. So together we are power. So remember, together we are power, and we all support CPC to do all these things for us. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Simon Chu, CPC's Chief Strategy Officer.
Hey everybody, you ready? Hey, hey, hey! Hey, hey, hey!
What's up, Wayne?
CPC!
Stands with me!
CPC!
Stands with me!
Good job! So, as everybody knows, May is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and we are here for the first ever CPC Advocacy Day. But May is also the actual month where CPC turns 53 years old. So we are celebrating many things today. For May, CPC has organized a lot of events ranging from early childhood all the way to seniors to celebrate and highlight the work that we're doing, but also the need that is in our community. On May 29th, we will be hosting a panel with council members and commissioners and supporters within our communities to talk about 3 issues that really affect where we are: immigration and language access, gender equity, and LGBTQ safe spaces. So we hope you can all join us for that one. Last year when Wayne came on board, CPC launched Advancing Our Community, which is the campaign and our strategic direction going forward. We have an intentional effort to better connect our social services with creating positive social change. And that's why we're all here today, because services alone will not impact change. We need to bridge the gap so that whatever we're doing can also influence policy. Our community of Asian Americans, of immigrants and low-income people are here, we're growing, and we want our fair share. Thank you.
CPC has 50 programs throughout Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and the rest of New York City. And it is our programs and the staff and the families and the participants that make CPC great and make our community strong. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce Stephanie Lee, the director of our Christie Street Daycare Center, and Miss Soy, one of our parents.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to introduce Wei Chi Soy, who's a former parent of our after-school program and a long supporter of CPC. She came to America with no English, and she followed her husband. Afterwards, after a while, she lost her husband, passed away, and left her with 2 children under 5. With that, she had nowhere to turn. She didn't know who to turn to until someone at the funeral home recommended CPC. So she went, and the social worker there provided everything that she needed to care for her children and care for her family, introduced her to Christie Street Center, where the staff there were dedicated to her children in taking care of her. The staff was able to take care of her while she worked and able to bring her home, bring her children home after care, so that she's able to go buy groceries and come back home. The teacher stayed there until she came home for her to take care of her until she was able to come home to cook dinner. So after that, growing up, her kids came back to CPC as teenagers through the SYEP program, and she's very lucky because SYEP provided financial means for her to take care of her family and for expenses for her children. So after that, one of her daughters came back as a CPC teacher at Christie and was able to continue her work there until she finished her master's program and become a teacher. So Mrs. Soy is very thankful for what CPC has provided. She also is a participant of our CSEP program, the Senior A program, so she wants to get the skills she needs to continue to further her her financial well-being. After that, she has long retired, and she still comes back to CPC as a volunteer so that she can give the same support she received when she was here as an immigrant, as someone that's a sole provider of her family. So she's really thankful, and she still continues to come and volunteer, and she's a great supporter. She came out here to support us, to tell everyone that she loves CPC, and she's really grateful for what CPC has provided for her all these years. Okay, CPC.
Our next speaker is Jeff Lau from our Adult Literacy Program.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Lau. I'm an instructor here at the Chinese American Planning Council. At CPC's classes, students are getting the necessary language tools needed to navigate many challenges immigrants face living in the United States. Adult literacy is key to our mission's promotion of social and economic empowerment. Today we're going to listen to 3 students currently enrolled in our CPC English classes. Felix, Shirley, and Phoebe will talk about their journeys in the United States. Their stories that you hear today are part of the many thousands of stories that have entered through the doors of CPC seeking our services, looking for opportunities, and aspiring for a better life in the United States. So the first speaker will be Felix.
Hi everybody. Hi. I'm Felix. I'm a student in the CPC literacy classes. I'm new in the US, like most of us. I was very confused about my plan for my future. And then, because we are a lack of the information about our life in the United States, such as the education, jobs, and the daily life, etc. And before, the funny part is, example, before I registered for the free classes in the CPC, I was paying the money for the ESL classes. It was cost me a lot of money. That means I had to spend more time to make a living instead of study or working my education or my career. It's a vicious cycle to me, to us, to both of us. So I am glad to find a place that gives us tons of information to us, and give us the chance to achieve my better life. Yeah, after I finish my English, I probably go to a college and find a better job. Maybe I can contribute more to the community. That's why the English is so important to us. So please continue to support the CPC. Thanks everybody.
Our next speaker is one of our longtime champions in Manhattan. She is the co-chair of the Women's Caucus and a tireless advocate for Chinese American, Asian American, and immigrant communities. Thank you, Council Member Margaret Chen.
I also chair the Aging Committee. I take care of our seniors. Here. I mean, she's been with CPC for 50 years, and CPC is one of the oldest organizations serving the Asian American community. They were here before anyone was here to help immigrants to access government services. You know, in the Chinese community, we have, family association that's been around for over 100 years. And they were there to help immigrants. But they did not access government funding. We are taxpayers. We contribute to the society, and we deserve to have programs that can help our seniors, our young people, our kids, daycare programs, everything. So, in this Asian American Heritage Month, it's really important to bring everyone together. Because, look, year after year, we have to fight for desperately needed resources. But the Asian American community is the fastest growing racial group in New York City. And we have to be a force that have to be reckoned with. That's why it's so important. And I thank CPC for bringing everyone together. Come down to City Hall. This is your government. And you have to fight for a fair share of funding. Right now in the City Council, it's only me and Councilmember Kuhl. Not enough. 2 out of 51, we still have a long way to go. But I look at some of the young people here. Look, either you or your children will have to step up and be there to help us. I heard from the young man who spoke about English class. That is so basic, and that's why we're asking the mayor to baseline the $12 million for adult literacy programs. It's a no-brainer. You have to learn English so that you can communicate with your kids' teacher, right? Get a good job. And we have our senior, we've been fighting every year to get more senior funding because seniors have contributed to our society, and we make sure that the time that they have now to retire, to relax and enjoy themselves, we got to make sure that they have the resources to do that. We did a good job last year, but it's not enough. So we got to continue to do that. So, in this Asian American Heritage Month, it's a special time for us to really reflect on the progress that we have made, but also to think about going forward. We are getting closer, but we're nowhere near the finish line, okay? So thank you for being here, and continue the advocacy and to make sure that we are visible, that they can see us. From the city. So thank you again to CPC and thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, council member. Our next speaker is one of the participants from our Open Door Senior Center, Mr. Lin.
尊敬的北市和市长，尊敬的陈建文议员，我今天在这里代表法推会、领税中心以及法推会旗下的旗头，向我们的市长，向我们的陈建文议员，我们老人家的经济是困难的，但是我们也回顾我们的原来过去，我们是在你们的大力支持的中下，我们是生活过得不错，还可以很好。但是大家也知道，目前经济有限，物价膨胀，我们老人家的生活是不是有限啊？所以在这样的环境之下，我们领税中心在我们吴宝林主任的领导下，吴宝林主任为我们领税中心为社区服务50年，所以说我们现在领税中心有电脑班、英文班，还有这个绘画班，这个图书馆、戏剧社，我们还有这个乒乓球队，我们还有歌影团，还有这个摇鼓队。我们老人家天天的活动都有一定的经费，所以我们的经济有一定的困难，只要我们再一次要求我们的市长，我们陈建文议员给我们领税中心给我们的法财会多拨一点款，大家说好不好啊？好。所以说这个是应该的，我们老人家嘛，啊。同时，我们老人为了到业委去活动，为了和年轻人交流，但是我们没有经济了，怎么办啊？所以说，我们的靠山是这个陈建伟，我们的靠山市长，我们爱6月啊，6月不给我们钱，我们怎么生活啊？对不对？所以说，我希望我们的领导应该重视我们法财会服务业的机构，以及大家同不同意啊？在这里我谢谢大家，祝大家身体健康，万事如意。
Our next speaker is one of our champions from Brooklyn and for Queens, a tireless advocate on behalf of communities of color and immigrants, Councilmember Antonio Reynoso.
First and foremost, I want to thank you all for being here, for lending your voices to important advocacy issues that we have throughout our cities. It doesn't matter where you come from on the spectrum, whether it's Chinese or Dominican or Puerto Rican or anywhere you're from in the city of New York. These services are vital across the board. But we do know that some communities receive these resources at a higher rate than other communities. Some are receiving less adequate funding for a lot of these services. In my district, we have a location called Lindsay Park that houses a large contingency of a Chinese population. But when it comes to services for them in their language, whether it's Mandarin or Cantonese, social services, senior centers, child care services, they're almost non-existent. They have to use the resources currently being given to other demographics like the Latinos, with that have services in Spanish, they have to figure out a way to navigate that. So what we want to do is that we can bring about some equity and make sure that every single community, no matter where you're from, are allowed to receive these services that are culturally appropriate and sensitive. So I stand here with the Chinese community and fighting to make sure that that happens. So thank you very much for being here.
Our next speakers are from our early childhood education programs. Mary Chang, our Director of Early Childhood Services, and Mrs. Wu.
大家好，我依家好多謝 CPC， 因為我仔CPC 同埋小星星老師校長都幫我好多，因為我仔就呢幾個月佢有嗰個細菌感染，所以咧佢即係我又唔知我點樣幫佢，同埋咧阿 Mary 校長幫我好多，因為幫我申請 CPC 嗰啲我仔服務啦，即係好多嗰啲咁嘅幫助都係 Mary 同埋 CPC 幫我。咁樣我希望政府多啲支持 CPC， 因為我哋好多人都需要呢個幫助，因為我哋好多人都唔識英文，好似我媽都識，都係 CPC 幫佢好多嘢。咁真係就好多謝咯，多謝 CPC。
I would like to translate for her. This is Miss Wu, whose son is in Little Star Groom Street, one of CPC's early childhood programs. And a couple of months ago, Mrs. Wu's son had Guillain-Barré disease, which is an autoimmune disease which affected his entire body movement, and he basically physically is paralyzed temporarily. And we were able to support her through this process, and so she is very thankful for the help and support she's gotten from ACS and CPC, and we continue to support her as she's going through this process, especially as she's in kindergarten. So she wanted to be able to say that we need, and this is what we stand for when we do early childhood, the support that they get from for the children, for their families as a whole, is able to continue with the support from the city. And so this is thank you.
There are so many people from CPC here today. Who else is here from childcare? CPC childcare. Who's here from CPC seniors? Who's here from CPC community services? CPC youth programs. CPC workforce and ESL programs. Thank you very much, Mary and Mrs. Wu. It is stories like these that are why we are standing out here today fighting for wage parity for our early childhood education workers. It is critical that we invest in those workers because the children are our future. Our next speaker is Mrs. Yang from one of our Christie Street daycare centers.
Welcome everyone. My name is Xiaolin Chen. I am a parent. I am a full-time parent from the I'm a full-time parent and I have 3 kids who go CPC after school programs. The teachers help me a lot. They make sure my kids finish their homework, so I don't have to worry about their homework. The teachers are cared about our children and the parents. They encourage my kids to eat well and give advice to parents how to cook the nutrition food. I never have a problem with the CPC. This CPC is caring and always there to help my kids and me and other parents. And please support CPC. CPC is my family. Thank you for everything.
This is why we are out here fighting today for these incredibly important budget investments. Thank you all to our partners at City Council, to CPC staff, to our CPC community members for being out here today and raising your voices to fight for our communities. Our last speaker, while the weather still holds, is our Director of Policy and Advocacy, Amy Torres. If I advance, do I go forward or backward? Forward! If we are moving forward with our community, it's more important than ever before that we stand together, that we stand up for our communities, and that we stand with our allies in city government to support us and to raise the visibility of our community issues. Every one of you here plays a part in raising that visibility and raising that community power. So after today is finished, the work is not done. Come to CPC. Ask us how to register to vote. Bring your friends, bring your families, and let us help you. CPC is here. It's been part of our history, and it will be part of our community's future. Thank you so much for coming out today. Today, we are holding nearly 30 meetings with City Council members. We are standing here calling for important investments in our community, restoring $12 million for the Adult Literacy Initiative, investing in our senior centers through the model budget process, funding fair fares to ensure that all New Yorkers have access to public transit, investing in salary parity for our daycare workers, investing in important initiatives, everything from geriatric mental health to healthy aging and everything in between to ensure that our community members continue to advance. Our work is not done today. It will continue, and thank you to each and every one of you for being a part.
All right, thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for coming out to our inaugural CPC City Advocacy Day. How many people already had meetings with City Council members this morning?